Everyone, it's me, Laura, and today we are going to do Natasha's hourglass, or I should say the hourglass twist, but let's go ahead and do the hourglass first. So I made my little rectangular brick. I'm cutting down the middle, opening that up, cutting the two halves in half, rolling those out, and then once I have that, take that center part and mirror it, and then mirror the two sides until it all comes together. Once you have that, of course, you're going to place that knitting needle in the center. Get the right size and make sure you're matching up your mirror all the way along. Once you have that mirror all nice and matched up, take your blade and your acrylic roller and roll the acrylic roller on the bead to make it all nice and neat, and use the blade to flatten the ends. Okay, so here you could tell I've taken the handle from one of my tools and I'm just pressing down on that bead through the center. And I'm just creating this indent, which really will form this hourglass look on this Natasha bead. Again, I'm taking my blade, I'm just kind of flattening on the end. Just so you know, you don't necessarily have to use the handle on any kind of tool. You can use a large knitting needle or whatever to make that indent into that Natasha bead. And this now forms what I call Natasha's hourglass. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that hourglass twist. You're going to create the Natasha bead just like we had done before, cutting it in half, cutting the two halves in half, and then mirroring all four sides. Once you have that, you'll go ahead and put your knitting needle right in the center, and then you'll use your acrylic roller and your blade to go ahead and finish it up. Again, I'm going to take that handle that I have and I'm going to just indent on that bead, making that hourglass shape yet again. Now that you have your hourglass all together with both of your hands, go and twist the inside part by using your hands, one hand going one direction and one hand going the other. And this will create your hourglass twist. All right, so right here, this is one of my cane ends. And I want to go ahead and try this out and see what it would be like if I went and made it into a Natasha and then into the hourglass and the twist. I'm gently twisting this cane end right here, and I found that they do look a lot nicer when you twist them first, and then you go ahead and change them into that Natasha bead. So that's what I'm doing here. And then of course, changing it into that rectangular brick. All right, so go ahead and create that Natasha bead right here. You can see this is really fun color in here. I just loved how it turned out. Match up all the sides so they mirror each other. And when you have this all together, again, take your knitting needle, put it down the center, use your acrylic roller to make sure it is all nice and flattened out, and then of course using your blade to flatten the top as much as possible. Now we'll go ahead and take that handle that I have and we'll just make that indent all the way around on this Natasha bead, creating that hourglass look. Now once you have that knitting needle back in the hourglass bead, you are going to twist that bead where the original look on the upper and lower ends will be moved one position over from its original placement. This will then give you that Natasha hourglass twist from a cane end. So I was really curious as to what this technique would look like if I used one of my kaleidoscope canes. So I took a kaleidoscope, and this was not my favorite one. It wasn't even my best one, but I took this one and a few others, and I noticed something really interesting when you did this technique with a kaleidoscope cane. It was fascinating actually to me. So here I am, I'm twisting it. I wanted to make sure I gave it a good twist. And then go ahead and take your acrylic roller and flatten it out into that brick again. So right here, look at that a second. The image is, all the action is on the sides, and then you have this singular color running right down the center. When you go to split that, when you go to cut that in half on both sides, it will be on the outside corners. But this actual color that's right down the center on those two pieces, that's the original center of the kaleidoscope. So your center is going to be on the outside. So here's why I like that, why I'm just like really excited about that. If you have a solid center, so just like a regular color, just one color in the center of your kaleidoscope, and you do this particular technique to the Natasha bead, it will act as like a border, if you will, or a guide as to the twist and how that twist is going to look. So here I'm using that handle again to create that hourglass look and give that bead that little indentation in the center, getting it ready so I can go ahead and do the twist. Now that I have that hourglass, we're going to gently twist that from one position over, and you can see that pink just following right through the center of the bead now and onto the sides. Gives it a really nice look. Here I have my examples, but I wanted to clarify. The first two on the left side were done from scrap clay. The next one was done from a cane end. The next two were done from kaleidoscope canes, and then the last two were also done from cane ends. I wanted to point this out because the interesting beads turned out to be the kaleidoscope types. If you have a solid center in a kaleidoscope cane, when it gets changed into this bead, the center not only becomes those edges of the bead, but because of the twist, it will flow through the center from creating that twist action and then follow back onto the sides. I hope you will use this for study and reference. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I would love to hear what you're thinking. And as always, I'm sending out my biggest hugs to you all, and I hope you have a fantastic day.